I remember the day he was born, my boy, tiny, pink, and crying like his lungs wanted the world to hear. I'm here. I held him in my arms, and I promised myself, I will never let this child feel alone. I raised him with everything I had. When his father left us, I became both parents. I worked extra shifts, skipped meals, and wore the same shoes for 3 years so he could have new ones. And every night before bed, I'd whisper to him, "You're my blessing, my little miracle. Mama will always be here, but life has a funny way of changing things when you least expect it." When he got older, he met her. A sweet-looking girl with soft eyes and a voice so polite that it almost disarmed me. She came to our home with gifts, smiles, and the kind of charm that makes you think she's genuine. And I wanted to believe she was. Because that's what mothers do. We believe what makes our children happy. They started spending more time together. And slowly, the calls became fewer. The visits became shorter. The hugs, colder. One afternoon, I asked him gently, "Son, when is your wedding going to be?" He hesitated, smiled awkwardly, and said, "Soon, Mama. I'll tell you everything soon." But that soon never came. One evening, my phone buzzed. It was her, my son's girlfriend. Her message said, "Hi, Mom. We actually got married last month. We didn't want to stress you." I sat there, frozen, staring at the screen. My son got married and didn't even tell me. I called him immediately. He picked up, sounding nervous. "Mama, please understand," he said softly. "It was just a small ceremony." We didn't want to make it complicated. Complicated? My boy, the one I carried, fed, prayed for, found marriage complicated enough to erase me from it. I hung up and sat in silence. The house felt emptier than ever before. It was like the air had been sucked out of the walls. Weeks passed and I didn't hear much from him. When I finally did, it was when they needed something. "Mom, can you send some money? We're short on rent this month." And of course I did. Because no matter how much pain he gave me, I still loved him. Mothers don't know how to stop loving. But love, when unreturned, becomes a slow poison. The more I gave, the more distant he became. Calls only came when bills were due. Visits only happened on holidays, and if I was lucky. And she treated me like a guest in my own son's life. Always polite, always smiling, but with a wall I could never climb. One day I decided to visit without calling first. When she opened the door, her smile froze. "Oh, you should have told us you were coming," she said. I stepped inside anyway, holding a small cake. His favorite. Chocolate with almonds. He came out of the bedroom, surprised. "Mom, you should have called first." And in that one sentence, I realized I didn't belong there anymore. I sat in the living room while they whispered in the kitchen. I couldn't hear every word, but I knew what was being said. She needs to give us space. She means well, but she's too involved. She doesn't understand boundaries. When I left that evening, my son walked me to the door. He didn't hug me. He just said, "Mom, next time, please call first." That night, I cried for hours, not because of what he said, but because I finally understood. My baby was gone. Not to death, but to distance. To love, that wasn't mine anymore. Years passed and I stopped visiting, stopped calling first, stopped sending money. I learned to keep my love quiet. Then one day, my phone rang again. It was her. "Mama, he's in the hospital," she said, her voice trembling. I rushed there faster than my legs could carry me. When I saw him lying on that bed, pale, weak, my boy, everything inside me broke and healed at the same time. He looked up and whispered, "Mama, I'm sorry." Tears rolled down his cheeks. He said he didn't realize how much he'd hurt me. He said he let life pull him away from the woman who gave him everything. And I forgave him, because that's what mothers do. We forgive before they even ask. After that day, things changed a little. He started calling more. He came by on Sundays just to sit and talk. Sometimes she came too. And slowly, I learned to see her differently. Not as the woman who took my son away, but as the woman who loved him in ways I no longer could. I realized something important. A mother never truly loses her son. She just learns to share him with another woman who will also call him my love. So now, when I sit by my window and watch the sunset, I don't think about the years I lost. I think about the love I gave and how it still lives in him. Maybe not in the same way, but love never dies. It just changes homes. And maybe, just maybe, that's what motherhood really is, the art of loving, even when you're no longer the center of their world. Sometimes the hardest part of being a mother isn't raising your children. It's learning to let them go and trusting that the love you built in them will someday find its way back home.